Don't watch this video. If you're in a hurry, seriously, skip it or save it for later, because what you're about to watch isn't another 5-minute motivation video. It isn't a list of life hacks, and it isn't something you can half listen to while scrolling your phone. This conversation needs your attention. 20 minutes, that's all, because one idea can quietly change the way you think for the rest of your life. So, if your mind is somewhere else, come back when you're ready. But if you've been asking yourself why success still feels empty, why peace never seems to last, why your mind never stops running, then stay, because this may be the most valuable 20 minutes you spend this year. Let's begin. Imagine someone offered you everything you've ever wanted. More money, more success, the perfect relationship, perfect health, everything. Would you finally be at peace? Most people would answer yes. Then why do so many people who already have those things still feel empty? Why do actors, athletes, CEOs, millionaires, people who seem to have everything still struggle to find peace? Maybe we've been chasing the wrong thing, because happiness comes and goes, but peace is different. More than 2,000 years ago, 3 extraordinary men discovered why a slave, an emperor, and a wealthy philosopher, they lived completely different lives, yet they arrived at exactly the same truth. What they discovered may completely change the way you see your own life. Every morning, before your feet touch the floor, your mind has already started running, not through today, through yesterday, through tomorrow. You reach for your phone, one notification, then another, an email, a message, a headline. Before you've even stood up, the world has already occupied your mind. While brushing your teeth, you're thinking about work. While drinking your coffee, you're tasting tomorrow's meeting instead of the coffee. While driving, you're replaying yesterday's argument. While sitting with your family, part of you is still in the office. Then night arrives. Your body lies in bed, but your mind refuses to sleep. It replays old mistakes, imagines future disasters, starts conversations that never happened. Have you noticed? Your body lives in one moment. Your mind lives in 100. Imagine opening your web browser. One tab becomes 5. 5 become 20. Eventually, everything slows down, not because the computer is weak, because it's trying to process too much. At the same time, your mind works exactly the same way. Open tabs, unfinished conversations, old regrets, future worries, expectations, comparisons, none of them allowing you to simply be here. Think about the last sunset you saw. Did you really watch it? Or were you wondering who had replied to your message? Think about the last meal you shared with your family. Were you really there? Or was your mind already planning tomorrow? Life is happening this moment, right now, but attention has become the rarest thing we own. And then the mind makes us another promise. Just one more promotion, just one more achievement, just one more purchase, just one more milestone. Then you'll finally relax. But that day never arrives, because the restless mind never reaches the finish line. It simply moves it. So perhaps the problem isn't your job, your relationships, your money, or your circumstances. Perhaps the greatest prison isn't around you, it's inside you. And if the mind can create that prison, can it also set you free? More than 2,000 years ago, one man who owned absolutely nothing found the answer. His name was Epictetus. Imagine being born without freedom, not metaphorically, literally. You don't own your home. You don't own your future. You don't even own your own life. That was the reality of a man named Epictetus. He wasn't born into power. He wasn't born into wealth. He wasn't even born as a citizen. He was born a slave. History tells us his master was known for his cruelty. Some stories even say his leg was broken during his years of slavery. Whether every detail is historically accurate, no one knows for certain. But one thing is beyond doubt: his body could be imprisoned. His mind never was. Think about that. Today, most of us feel trapped by deadlines, traffic, bills, social media, other people's opinions. Yet a man who was actually a slave discovered something that many free people still haven't. Imagine someone insults you. Can you control their words? You can't. Your flight gets canceled. Can you control the weather? You can't. Someone rejects you. Can you control their decision? You can't. The market crashes. A friend disappoints you. People misunderstand you. Life changes again and again. Most of our suffering begins right here. We spend our lives trying to control things that were never ours. To control, Epictetus saw life in a completely different way. He divided everything into only two categories: things you can control and things you can't. Your choices, your attitude, your actions, those belong to you. The past, the weather, other people's opinions, other people's decisions, those never did. Imagine holding a rope in a game of tug-of-war. On the other side is the entire world. Bad luck, traffic, politics, aging, loss, the opinions of others. You pull harder, you fight harder, you become exhausted, but the rope never moves. Epictetus would simply say, "Let go," not because you've given up, because you finally understood which battles were never yours to fight. That single realization changed everything. It transformed a slave into one of history's greatest teachers, and it became the foundation of Stoicism itself. But understanding what you can control is only the first step. The harder question is, how do you live by that principle every single day? The answer came from a man who carried the weight of an empire. His name, Marcus Aurelius. The emperor who mastered himself. Imagine waking up tomorrow as the most powerful person on earth. An empire at your command, thousands of soldiers, unlimited wealth, unlimited power. Most people think that would solve every problem. Marcus Aurelius proved otherwise. He ruled the greatest empire of his time, yet his life was far from easy. Wars, disease, political betrayal, the death of people he loved. Every morning, before making decisions that affected millions, he had to make one decision first: how to govern his own mind. Marcus never wrote to impress the world. He wasn't writing a book. He wasn't writing for history. He was writing to himself. A private journal, a reminder, because even an emperor needed reminding. Imagine walking into your office. Someone questions your ability. Someone takes credit for your work. Someone spreads rumors behind your back. Your first reaction is anger. Marcus understood that feeling, but he asked a different question. Will my anger improve the situation? If it won't, why give it control over my day? Think about the last person Who made you angry? They may have occupied only 5 minutes of your day, but how many hours did they occupy inside your mind? One comment, one message, one mistake can steal an entire day, not because it was powerful, because we kept feeding it. Marcus wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events." The moment he understood that, he stopped trying to control people and started controlling himself. Imagine standing in the rain. You can complain, curse the weather, wish it away. The rain will continue. Or you can open an umbrella. Stoicism isn't about controlling the storm. It's about learning how to walk through it. That is why Marcus Aurelius could remain calm while an empire was falling apart around him, because peace never came from the outside. It came from within. But even Marcus knew something else. Understanding isn't enough. Without practice, wisdom remains only words. So how do you train a peaceful mind? That is where Stoicism becomes a way of life. The Stoic toolbox. Knowing isn't enough. Living it is everything. So, how did the Stoics train their minds? Not once, every single day. Let's begin with the first practice, the circle of control. Pause for a moment. Think about everything that worried you today. Now ask yourself, how much of it could you actually control? Your effort. You can control that. Your honesty. You can control that. Your attitude. You can control that. Now think about everything else. Traffic, the weather, the economy, other people's opinions. You can't control them. Yet, that's where most of our energy goes. Imagine holding sand in your hand. The tighter you squeeze, the faster it slips away. Control works the same way. The Stoics would say, focus on what stays inside your hand. Everything else, let it go. Now, let's move to the second practice, negative visualization. It sounds pessimistic. It isn't. Imagine tomorrow morning, your phone stops working, your car won't start, the electricity goes out. For a moment, everything feels inconvenient. Now imagine none of that happened. Suddenly, your ordinary day feels like a gift. Gratitude doesn't begin when life becomes perfect. It begins when you stop assuming everything will always be there. There's another practice, perhaps the most powerful of them all, memento mori. Remember, you will die, not tomorrow, not today, one day. And because of that, today matters. Imagine this was the last conversation you would ever have with someone you love. Would you still rush through it? Would you still look at your phone? Or would you be fully present? Death doesn't make life less meaningful. It makes every moment more valuable. One final practice. Pause before reacting. Someone insults you. Pause. Someone disappoints you. Pause. Bad news arrives. Pause. Between what happens and what you do next, there is a space. That space is where freedom begins. The Stoics practice that space every day because peace isn't something you discover, it's something you practice every morning, every conversation, every difficult moment. And there was one Stoic who understood the price of chasing more better than anyone. His name, Seneca. The cost of chasing more. There was one final teacher. His name was Seneca. Unlike Epictetus, he wasn't poor. Unlike Marcus Aurelius, he wasn't an emperor. He was rich, very rich. He owned almost everything people dream of today, and yet he spent his life warning people about chasing more. Think about this. When you got your very first salary, how did it feel? It felt like freedom, like success, like you had finally made it. Today, that same salary would probably feel too small. What changed? Did life become more expensive? Maybe. But something else changed too. Your expectations. Imagine climbing a mountain, step by step, year after year. Finally, you reach the top. Take a breath, enjoy the view. Then, you look ahead, another mountain, even taller, even farther away. The climb starts again. That's how desire works. It doesn't celebrate what you've achieved. It whispers, just a little more. A better phone, a bigger house, a newer car, a higher salary, a better title. Just one more. Now ask yourself, how many times has your mind said that? Just one more. Seneca understood something remarkable. Desire has no finish line. Feed it, and it grows. Satisfy it, and it returns, hungry again. Look around. Some people have everything, yet sleep badly, worry constantly, and never feel satisfied. Others own very little, yet smile easily and sleep peacefully. Why? Because wealth isn't measured by what you own. It's measured by how little you need. Pause and think about that. The Stoics never said money is bad, success is bad, ambition is bad. They simply asked one question: do you own your possessions, or do your possessions own you? Imagine losing your phone. Painful, of course. Imagine losing your job. Difficult, absolutely. Now ask yourself, would you also lose yourself? Your character, your wisdom, your courage, your kindness, those cannot be taken unless you give them away. That is real wealth, not the number in your bank account, but the strength inside your mind. Before we leave Seneca, he gives us one final challenge. Tonight, before you sleep, ask yourself, what do I actually need to live a good life? Wait before answering. You may discover the answer is much smaller than you imagined. And once you realize that, you stop chasing everything. You start appreciating what is already here. But there is one final step. Knowing these ideas isn't enough. The real challenge is living them every single day. Living like a Stoic. Let's leave ancient Rome for a moment, because your real life starts tomorrow morning. The alarm rings. You're still tired. Your first thought sets the tone for the entire day. Before touching your phone, ask yourself, what is within my control today? Just that question can change the rest of your morning. Now imagine you're driving to work. Someone cuts you off. Your heart races. You feel the anger. Pause. Take one breath. Then ask, will my anger change what already happened? It won't. So why carry it for the next hour? Now imagine your boss criticizes your work. Your first instinct is to defend yourself. Instead, pause, listen. Maybe there is something you can learn. If the criticism is useful, improve. If it isn't, let it pass. Either way, you keep your peace. Imagine you open social media. Someone your age bought a bigger house. Someone else got promoted. Another person is on vacation. For a moment, you feel left behind. Pause. Then remember, you're comparing your everyday life to someone else's highlight reel. Comparison steals joy faster than failure. Now imagine a close friend doesn't reply to your message. Immediately, your mind creates stories. Maybe they're upset. Maybe they don't care anymore. Hours later, they reply, "I was busy." The suffering was never real. Your imagination created it. Imagine you fail an important interview. Does it hurt? Of course, but failure is an event. It isn't your identity. The Stoics never said you will always win. They said you can always choose your response. Here's another example. You're standing in a supermarket. The line is moving slowly. Everyone looks frustrated. Some complain, some sigh, some lose patience. You have a choice. Become the line or become the person waiting in it. The situation is the same. Your experience isn't. This is what Stoicism really is. Not hiding emotions, not pretending. Nothing hurts, not becoming cold. It's learning to pause, to observe, and then to choose again and again every single day. You won't become a Stoic after watching one video. Neither did Marcus Aurelius. Neither did Epictetus. It was a daily practice, one decision, one moment, one breath at a time. And eventually, those small moments become your character. There is only one question left. What does a truly peaceful life actually look like? Let's answer that one final time. The peace you've been looking for. Let's return to the question we asked at the very beginning. Why are you never at peace? Perhaps the answer was never outside you. Think about everything we've discovered. A slave who found freedom without being free. An emperor who remained calm while ruling the greatest empire on earth. A wealthy philosopher who warned us that more would never be enough. 3 different lives, one timeless truth. Peace isn't something you find, it's something you practice. Imagine standing beside a quiet lake. The water is perfectly still. Now, throw a stone. The surface changes. The lake doesn't. Life will keep throwing stones. Criticism, failure, loss, disappointment, success, change. Your goal isn't to stop the stones. Your goal is to let the water become still again. One breath, one choice, one moment at a time. Tomorrow morning, your alarm will ring. The emails will still arrive. Traffic will still exist. Someone will disappoint you. Something will go wrong. Life will not become easier, but you can become stronger, calmer, wiser. Not because the world changed, because you did. Before you reach for your phone tomorrow morning, pause. Ask yourself, what is within my control today? Nothing more, nothing less. Then, take one breath and begin. That is Stoicism, not a philosophy. You admire a philosophy. You live. If you've watched This far, don't remember every quote. Don't remember every philosopher. Remember one thing. Your peace has never depended on the world. It has always depended on the way you meet it. And perhaps, for the first time, you now understand why happiness comes and goes, but peace can stay. The journey doesn't end here. It begins tomorrow morning, before your feet touch the floor.